What's up, guys? Army-Firedawg back, and today is actually, quite unfortunately, it's the last day I have with the Torque audio prototype, the T402s. I've actually grown to enjoy these for what they bestow. It's definitely an interesting take than what I personally look for in audio or am experienced with, but I'll dive into that a little bit later in the review. But as always, I like to start with the construction. So right off the bat, the construction is wonderful. Like, these are wonderfully sturdy. Torque, y'all did a great job building a fine headphone. Also, the retail price I have found are going to be $400. At the time of this video, which is 28 October 2015, they are doing a special pre-order code that'll save you 20%. So if you really enjoy these or want to hit them up, definitely go to the link. I'll leave it in the description to save yourself some money. So continuing on the construction on it, despite how light they are, I have no worries at all about the build quality on these. The box actually has them building this way out and twisting it. I did not, and nor will I do that. I don't want that to be my luck and they snap. I don't think they would. I just don't want to take that chance. But these can take a really good twisting. The cable that comes with it, let's slide it over here, did really well. I honestly thought this would tangle up, but I never had any issues with tangling, kinking, pulling out, get stuck on stuff. It was a wonderfully made cable. The only issue I have with it is actually in the microphone, which actually, on a side note, this little Torque button here, nice little tidbit, I like that. But on the microphone, the people I was talking with, when I was testing out the microphone on Destiny, if y'all don't know, I love that game. Hit me up on the PS4, Army-Firedawg's my name. But they all said, hey, what microphone are you using? You sound very distant. You just don't sound as as clean as you usually are. I said, I'm testing out a new mic. And they said, well, it's not the best in the world. So in terms of phone call quality, do bear that in mind. But to finish with construction, I really have no worries about these. These can take a beating. These are definitely built to the highest standard. So definitely props. These is a great build. Now, moving on to the comfort, which at first I was, and I still am, kind of trying to get a feel for the comfort of it. Do I love it? I definitely don't hate it, but I don't think I love it. I do like it. But the over-ear pads is, like I said in the unboxing video, what I use most often. But, and I was quite surprised with this, the on-ear pads were nowhere near as bad as I thought they would be. Still uncomfortable for me personally, as again, I'm experienced, I knew they would be, but I was able to wear these for about an hour or so, about 2 hours, before I started getting notable fatigue and I had to start adjusting stuff. Usually, I have to go about 45 minutes and then I have to adjust or just take the headphones off completely. So, to get between 2 and 3 times that duration, I give it a pass. Also, if you remember from the unboxing video, when I put them on, I noticed I said they weren't glasses friendly, and that stayed true throughout. These do not play well with glasses on quite often. Normally they're fine. They just always push it forward a little bit, but usually I would have to just go ahead and take them off and just do my listening duration with my glasses off. The only way I found to somewhat override that is if I tilted them forward, like I did in the unboxing video, and they sit. Instead of like here, like they usually do, they almost sit like right here. It's not a huge thing, but it is something that at this price point I wasn't really liking. But now to the most important part, at least for me anyways, and that is the sound. So how do these things sound? Also, I actually had to reteach my ears while listening to these, because these, per the master Torque himself, these are not meant to be audiophile headphones. These are meant to be geared towards the mainstream audience, the average consumer, the non-professional or non-experienced ear, and that definitely showed. So I really had to tone back what I normally look for in audio and keep myself thinking of what it's geared for. So, moving on. While listening to it, the positional cues was actually very nice. I could quite easily distinguish, and I wouldn't call it very transparent, but I could really, I felt like I was there quite respectably. I was listening to a couple live performances. A few of them were Five Finger Death Punch. I was like their live performances, and the Pirates of the Caribbean by the Philharmonic. Was it Rhapsody Philharmonic? It was a flash mob, and it did a really good job of giving me those positional cues. But the separation, how well I could tell one instrument apart from the other, it could use a little bit of work. It was still good for the average consumer. They won't tell that difference at all. In fact, most of the lower bitrate audio you kind of get from playing off of like lower tier um, services, you won't even tell that difference. But if you have higher tier audio files, then you're going to get those different. So bear that in mind as well. Which brings me to a point, and this is for an audio file, it is going to be a negative. For the average consumer, they don't care. It's not what they're geared for. But these are not for critical listening. These are, as I mentioned with the separation, not that good. But while listening to it, it just had missed that. Like I was like, it just sounded off. It didn't sound natural. It didn't sound, I don't want to say clean, but it sounded very fun. Like when I listened to it, I was like, I'm always, almost no matter what I'm listening to, even like just slow country, I wanted to tap my feet. So the fun aspect on these is spot on, which again, for the consumer audience, for the average mainstream audience, which is what these are geared for, you hit the nail right on the head. So great job in that aspect. But from an audiophile tier, they're not the best in the world, especially at the price point. But let's look into the individual aspects that I personally found with them. So as always, I'll start with a treble, and it is very notably recessed. The song I used to try to test the treble most often is the Diva Dance by the movie Fifth Element. I can't pronounce the actual artist's name. Y'all know who I'm talking about though. But she gets way up there. Like she's piercing on some of her high notes. These, at her highest notes, I was like, nothing. Nope. So definitely treble recessed across the board from upper treble to lower. The treble was recessed. Now moving on to the mids. The mids actually are the saving grace of these, even from an audiophile perspective. Sometimes, and I had to catch myself on that because most of the time the mids were great. The mids were wonderful. They were clean. I wouldn't call them neutral. They were actually quite a bit forward. But it was they were interesting. Like for example, if I'm listening to ZZ Top, Trace Atkins, most male vocals actually, the mids were spot on. Like I was quite nice. Other than that notable forwardness, I mean I love the mids. The females, on the other hand, which usually ties to the lower treble, so it's understandable. It wasn't recessed, but it wasn't refined. In fact, that's the only thing that come to my mind. Overall, honestly, the mids are pretty good. I mean, they're very intimate. So spot on the mids, guys. Now moving on to the bass. The bass on these is immediately the focal point on the Torque T402s. They hit, they're there, and you know what you're listening to. But the sub bass, or the actual hit, is not so much. It is actually quite recessed. The upper bass range, that's where the fun was. That hit real nice, you knew it was there, but when we went into the lower bass range, it never really gave me that I was looking for. And also the bass almost on any of the filters I used was quite cloudy. It wasn't a detailed bass. The decay was a little bit longer than what I appreciated. But again, for the average consumer, they love that. I.e., like the Beats crowd, the Monster crowd, they love that long, overdrawn decay. That's what draws them in. That's what keeps them coming back. So, in conclusion, guys, the the Torque T402s that again retail for $400 are definitely a wonderful mainstream consumer headphone. They are built like a tank. They can fit any size ear, regardless if you're a large ear like myself or you're a female and you have some smaller ears. They are respectably comfortable, and the sound will definitely fit in to what is like today's hits. They're very bass punchy, and they're just a fun sound to listen to. You don't worry too much about critiquing. You just want to enjoy the music. These are absolutely geared towards you, and they do fill that niche wonderfully well. But guys, that's all for the review of the prototype Torque T402s. Again, I believe these are scheduled to be released earlier next month, which is to be November. They're again on pre-order right now, so you can save 20% off at the time of the video. So definitely hit that up if you've been thinking about these, been keeping up with them, and want to save yourself about $80. It's a nice chunk of change. But if you like the video, hit that like button. I greatly appreciate your support. If you have any questions or just like to talk to me, hit me up in the comment section, guys. Not just about headphones, just about anything. I love talking to y'all. I like hearing y'all's point of views, what y'all are interested in. Hit me up on either this video or any of my other ones. But if you really like my content, guys, or just like to look at this pretty face, even though I'm not as energetic today, I guess I just had bad luck with this one. Only getting to it like after a long day of work. It's already 100 and I gotta get up in 4 hours. Hit that subscribe button, guys. I digress. But my name's Army-Firedawg. It's been a pleasure, but most importantly, unlike the other 7 accidents we had earlier yesterday, stay safe.